Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sandy Frank's political podcast for a people's movement against the corporate fascist state. Excuse me. I am your host, Sandy Frank. Today we are going to be continuing the discussion of Islamophobia and how it manifests itself in both sides of the fake corporate fascist political spectrum, the fake political spectrum that claims to be about social issues over economic and political issues, when in reality they are the purveyors of racism and homophobia and all these things. uh yeah, so, and that's exactly what I want to talk about today. The fake, the Democratic establishment, the people who claim to be for these social issues like civil rights and whatnot. The people who claim to be for gay rights and but do nothing but create the economic environment that people of disproportionately non-white people are put into economic slavery and put in poverty, basically by design, by the people at the top of our society and the people they've brainwashed to help them toe this line. So today we're talking about Islamophobia. And so what I'm really saying is how the Democratic and Republican establishment basically operate as one being to perpetuate a bullshit narrative, to because it's all Democrats can really do is claim to be for social issues. If you look at Cory Booker, he was showing up at the Women's March, and every speech he gives is about how how hard, how difficult it is in the United States of America to be a person of color, or a Muslim person, or a Latino person, or an Asian person, or a Native American person, or a mixed race person. And this is, these are the things, of course, he will say because he can say them, because he's not taking money from the the and I'm just kidding here, but like the race industry. No, he's just taking money from the pharmaceutical industry and defense and the banks. But if there was a industry of race, I'm just really joking here. He if I'm sure if he ever got Cory Booker ever got offered $300,000 like he was given from just once from, or no, I think he might have. I think on the whole, I think it is Cory Booker's taken $300,000 from pharmaceuticals, or that might just be recently. I honestly, I would have to look that up. I'm not sure, but I know he's taken at least $300,000, which of course, even alone, is reprehensible. But of course, this isn't the only industry that Cory Booker has taken money from. He's taken money from the banks and all over. I'm not sure what his net worth is or how much money he has taken in bribes to serve the corporations, but it's definitely more than $300,000. And so what these Democrats, these fake progressives, these economic fascists like Cory Booker and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton do, what these people do is they lie. Like, think of what did Hillary Clinton really run on? Like, when she spoke at campaign rallies, what the fuck was she talking about? She was, of course, just saying vague things about being a woman, vague things, not even about race. She would never say anything about race. She would have like Black Lives Matter people like kicked out of her events, but she and what really bothers me about Hillary Clinton is she always and all of her supporters like claim to that she stands up for gay people and that they stand up for gay people, like even the ones who are gay. And of course there's a lot of gay people who supported Hillary Clinton, to be sure. Even these people, like, they don't realize that Hillary Clinton's brand of LGBT rights is just more corporatism and more of the factors that led to the problems in the gay community. And of course, economics affects the gay community very much. Imagine one more community gets thrown out by families, and like how important economically to the majority of people are your family system for being able to survive and not starve to death and shit like this. So many people rely on their families now more than ever. And the economic conditions that Hillary Clinton wished to continue, the same as Bush and Obama, which is exactly what's making people dependent on families. She couldn't even come out for relieving student debt or single payer healthcare. This person is an economic fascist, and this person is contributing to the economic fascism being imposed upon gay people, and not just in like being kicked out by their family, but there's a lot of economic issues facing the gay community. But of course, when we talk about economics and how the Democrats are really just liars, talk about race. Of course, disproportionately, Black and Latino and Native American, let's just say non-white people, are disproportionately affected by an economy that is designed to be racist, that is designed to treat people like that. It's no accident that the levels of income inequality are and race are these things are huge. African Americans are so much more likely to be lower income in the United States of America than white people. And that, of course, has to do with the economic system, not black people, of course, because we have the facts that, blacks are just as industrious as whites, and, we're proportionately economically, equal, and, all these things. Of course, we know this. I'm not going to go into this. We're going to assume these as facts because they are facts, and, so it has nothing to do with, what Nazis would say, like the genes, the blacks are lazy and the Spanish are lazy, the Latinos are lazy. This shit, of course not that, but we then can't deny the fact that our economy is then, we have to say it's set up by another force to be racist, and of course that's being done by the 1%. So that's just the first part of the video, wanting to explain, why the Democrats are the ones perpetuating the racism, because they're perpetuating the economic inequality. When Cory Booker votes against a bill that will give, lower drug costs and medical costs because he's gotten a bribe of $300,000 from big pharmaceutical, of course, this entire narrative of the corporate fascist media and the corporate fascist state, that Democrats fight for the social issues and Republicans fight for the businesses. Of course, this is a complete lie. They both only fight for the corporations, of course. None of them fight for business or small business. None of them fight for social issues like gay rights or race rights or ending police brutality. None of them do. All sides of the coin. It's a complete fraudulent psychological operation perpetuated by the media. The narrative is just given to us by the media, and so, we're just given this bullshit on NPR that any of these people have any intention of ending the economic fascism, but that's not what this video is going to be about. I just wanted to very clearly in 10 minutes articulate the idea that when you talk to a Barack Obama supporter or a Hillary Clinton supporter or Cory Booker supporter who say that they stand for these gay rights and these race rights, just tell them no, you don't. Even if you don't understand why you don't stand for gay rights because you support economic fascism, it doesn't mean you stand up for gay rights. So whenever you talk to these people, these Hillary Clinton supporters, especially if you're a conservative person listening, or a libertarian person, or an anarchist, or whatever your perspective is, but whenever you hear a brain dead Hillary supporter, the same thing with the brain dead Trump supporter, a brain dead Democratic establishment supporter, and a brain dead Republican establishment supporter, they're pretty similar if you talk to them for like 5 minutes. But if you're ever talking to a Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton supporter, and they say they stand up for gay rights, you just say no, you don't. You stand up for economic fascism, which creates the very conditions that have oppressed the gay community, the African American community, the Latina American community, the Native American community, Asian American community, all middle. And so now this is the point of the video. We're talking about one race, and when we say Islamophobia, we're really, of course there's hatred put on the religion of Islam. Of course, the worshippers of Islam are very important. But when we also say Islamophobia, we're really talking about the race of Middle Eastern people. I'm actually not really that much sure what race, what is the preferred nomenclature of I say Middle Eastern people. I say Middle Eastern people, and for India, and not to like say that the Middle East and the area around India are similar, they're very vastly culturally different. I say South Asian for people from India. I don't know, I sometimes get a little backlash from that. I don't know, is it South? I don't know. If anybody has a list of like all of the, or just a long list of like different names of preferred nomenclatures for races, that'd be interesting. I need to talk to like a race studies professor, or something, and just try to learn more about it. I don't know. But yeah, we're talking about Islamophobia now. And what I want to talk about in this video, my very long-winded, circumloquacious introduction there, just trying to put everyone close to my perspective who might be new to the program. Democrats are racist is basically what I tried to say in the beginning. So we have, and so now we're talking about Islamophobia. And so the title of this video is going to be something like, Sandy Frank thinks that Bill Maher and Sam Harris and Barack Obama, for that important matter, are as big of Islamophobes as Donald Trump and the Republicans. And that's not to say that Donald Trump and Paul Ryan and John McCain and Lindsey Graham aren't really huge homophobes. They're all fucking calling for war with Iran, and have been calling for it for decades without being taken out of power, to use a polite phrase. But it's really important to understand that Barack Obama and Bill Maher and Sam Harris, and I don't say this lightly. I'm not just, this isn't just throwing this shit out. This is the truth. This is real. Barack Obama is one of the biggest warmongers in the history of the United States, and Bill Maher and Sam Harris are two of his biggest Islamophobic patsies. So let's talk about Bill Maher, Sam Harris. They are this like atheist movement, this kind of, really fake progressives. They're fake pro-science people. They claim to be the most pro-science people, but when they perpetuate these kind of like sociological lies about Islam and all of their bullshit, they're some of the least scientific people. Which is to really say they're Nazis, basically. Yeah, or they're eugenists. They think on some level there's something wrong on like the basic level of people who worship Islam, of people from these areas, these countries in the Middle East, of the non-white Christian, of their image of. We'll get into more of their brand of Islamophobia, but because we're really talking about the Democratic establishment right now. And Bill Maher, I'm not sure about Sam Harris, how in league with the Democrats he is. I don't know, but he's definitely a fake progressive of the likes of MSNBC and CNN could only dream of being, like openly racist with and then claim to be not, and then claim to stand up for gay rights, which is just ridiculous. And they stand up for like police brutality, and they support a United States military in 8 countries killed millions of people, displacing how many millions? So many more millions. These are just the most ridiculous types of hypocrites you could possibly imagine. Bill Maher, Sam Harris. So what the Democrats... So let's start with the Democrats, explaining the Islamophobia of the Democratic establishment. So Barack Obama, in 2008, campaigned on an end to the 2 wars we had in 2008, Iraq and Afghanistan. So he lied in 2008. He said he would be the person to end the wars, close Guantanamo Bay, usher in a new era of a United States foreign policy about peace and about helping to build up these countries, and of course it's nonsense. So as Barack Obama's presidency went on, the 2 wars expanded to 8, and with many more of financing of other violent groups throughout the Middle East, throughout Europe. Let's be honest. Throughout Central and Latin America, thanks to Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and John Kerry. So not only did Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and John Kerry, not only did they were they the caretakers of the Bush era foreign policy kill state, no habeas corpus, all surveillance everywhere. Not only did they do this, but they exploded the wars. They exploded them. We went from 2 wars to 8, and we went just unbelievably, and because it was a smiley face Democrat doing it, we got away with so much stuff. Arming rebels, arming two different rebels on different sides, something out of like Catch 22. We got caught doing so much more. So the Democrats are really the most Islamophobic group possible. I don't know what's, at least the Republicans and Mattis and the Donald Trump people. Of course, these people who say, you know, Islam is, they're a bunch of dogs. They're subhuman. You know, these people tell you what they believe. These people, at least you know what they think. But with smiley face Barack Obama and smiley face Hillary Clinton, they tell you one thing and then they do another thing. They say they care about Muslims. They say they care about promoting the image of Islam in the world, and then they go and bomb and kill millions of people. They go to, you know, Libya, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, everywhere. They go everywhere, and we've killed millions, and dropped so many bombs. So we have and that's why people are right when they say that the Democrats are more dangerous than the Republicans, because Democrats will rot your brain out and lie to your face, and you think you'll be doing one thing, like all these brainwashed Barack Obama supporters. You think you're doing one thing is because smiley face Barack Obama makes pretty speeches about how we respect Islam and are keeping the world safe and la di da di da. Then he goes and murders millions of people and creates more and more terrorism in the world. And, you know, even if I can't reach you more, like, on the moral issue of not murdering millions of innocent people based on lies, just understand that, like, this threat of being attacked, which doesn't even exist. I shouldn't even be saying this because it's not even real. But we bomb kill millions of people, that creates more of this. Well, it creates more crime, and it creates more poverty, and it creates more displacement, which creates anger, and sometimes that anger is in terrorism, you know, but, you know, not at the level the fascist media will let you think. Terrorism barely exists. It's barely even an issue, and the way to solve terrorism is not bombing countries. Of course, everything the United States has done from 9/11 has not stopped terrorism in the world, which is barely a threat. 9/11 was an inside job. A lot of terrorism are staged events. But yeah, there is there is terrorism. There is definitely an amount of it, both in Christianity and Islam and Judaism and Hinduism. And that's what I'm saying with this point, is that there is terrorism in the world, but it is proportionate when adjusted for the conditions that create terrorism among all religions and non-religions and political groups and what have you. Terrorism is not something to do with Islam. Terrorism is something to do with economic fascism, which is, you know, where Barack Obama and Bill Maher and Sam Harris will absolutely lie to you. These millionaires who are the terrorists, they create the terrorism. Millionaires like Bill Maher and Barack Obama, they create the terrorists and the terrorism because they're economic fascists, and they blame it on Islam. That has really nothing to do with it, and it's just a racist excuse to go bomb the world. And Barack Obama, being a smiley-faced person with dark skin, is just a racist excuse from the corporate fascist establishment to be bombing these areas of the country that have done nothing to us. You know, the they've done nothing to us, but people like Sam Harris and Bill Maher will have you believe that these entire countries are filled with crazy people who, if they ever got near you, they would blow you up. When Bill Maher is the actual terrorist. Bill Maher is such a liar, and he's such a toady for the economic establishment, and it's ridiculous. So let's get into more about Bill Maher and the Democrats. So this movement with Bill Maher and Sam Harris and the late Christopher Hitchens and Ricky Gervais and the BBC and Richard Dawkins and even Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye and Lawrence Krauss and these people, even these people, I'm gonna put on trial here, because this movement that has come out of not just the Obama era but the Democratic establishment era to drum up support for these wars, that the Democrats for these wars, like Barack Obama didn't make the Democrats for these wars. That's why the Democrats have always sucked, because they've been the same as the Republicans, claiming that they're not, and people aren't stupid, and that's why Democrats are always weak, and they're paid to be weak, and because it's not that they're just towing what they're with the Republicans on this. They're taking the same kinds of money from the same kind of defense contractors and the war machine and the military-industrial complex and Exxon and Boeing and all of these places, all these war profiteers. The Democrats have been going along with the war machine just as long as the Republicans, and to think that these two groups of people have ever had any type of differences, besides just the pretty language that they use, is just wrong. So this new atheist movement, oh man, that's come out of and listen, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in that's my personal view or whatever. If you have a different religion, that's fine, and everybody has different views, but yeah, I'm an atheist. Whatever, a secular humanist. I've never had much use for fairy tales and just nonsense, but and that's why I'm so upset by the likes of Bill Maher, who will turn secular humanism, which is like, hey, what are the best ideas we can use for our political policy by way of science to create a world that works for everybody. How do we do that? And that's kind of what the atheist movement is really about. But what Bill Maher and Sam Harris and these liars have turned it into, it's just an outlet for Islamophobia and hatred for Christianity. And listen, I have my problems with Christianity, but a lot of people just use these atheism movements to voice their problems with their upbringings. And listen, I had a religious extremist upbringing too, but that doesn't mean we should go around just demonizing all Christians and painting the people of Islam as violent dogs who are gonna blow themselves up because they hate freedom. And this is not a realistic view of the majority of people. Most people are smart. Most people are level-headed. And even if a larger number of people follow bullshit Christianity or Islam, which I also disagree with, they're not violent. They're not bad people, and we know this. These are facts. But Sam Harris and Bill Maher lie constantly about Islam. They say racist things, and these people who claim to be the pro-science people will tell you lies about Islam sociologically. They'll tell you lies that it is a disproportionately violent uh, religion, and that these are disproportionately violent areas of the world. They are not. All of this is in proportion, and all of this is in proportion with the conditions that the United States has imposed through economic fascism on the Middle East and every other part of the fucking world since forever. The United States has been fucking up the democratically elected governments of the Middle East, Iran especially, since the 1950s, earlier. This goes on and on. We've been using our economic power, which, the West has pretty recently acquired. I'm not trying to say that white people are powerful or something. This is not what I'm trying to say. This is just that at this moment in history, the West has all the money and the resources. The Middle East have ruled the world how many times in our history? A lot more than Western white European culture. The Middle East has ruled the world many, many times, and they'll probably rule the world again. The Western civilization has. This is our first time up at it, and we're about to even fuck it up through, our own economic fascism spinning out of control, not being able to control it. Right. So, but Bill Maher and Sam Harris will say that no, these areas are just where they're dogs, and they've always been like this. They've always lived in the dirt, the fucking dirt. These racists, when Middle Eastern and African cultures have ruled the world way more than white Europeanism, that itself is extremely religiously fanatic in a lot of places. Trying to call white Caucasian European Christianity non-extremist when there's so many white Christian terrorists, there's so many violent religious fanatics in Christianity. It's off the and it's proportionate to the Islamic terrorists. It's proportionate to atheists. Let's be completely honest here. There are atheist terrorists. There's a lot of atheist terrorists. I'm an atheist, and I'm going to say there's a lot of atheist terrorists. I'm sure a lot of this atheist terrorism could be ascribed to what people might call political terrorism. Probably a lot of it, but there are a lot of atheist there's terrorism and atheism. Okay, there's terrorism and there's environmental. I'm an environmentalist. There's environmental terrorists who, things like this. And there are economic terrorists like Barack Obama and Donald Trump and George Bush and Hillary Clinton. Terrorism is, of course, such a purposefully vague term that means nothing besides, hey, let's go kill some brown people. Hey, I found a good word that will help us kill innocent brown people in different parts of the world who've never done anything to us based on lies about Islam and lies about terrorism. Let's go kill them. So, the United States of America is completely racist on both sides of the establishment, especially the Democrats who toe the same exact bullshit line about Islam and about terrorism and about U.S. foreign policy. God, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were the harbingers of death in the Middle East and Africa for the last 8 years. Now all of these Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama supporters are coming out of the woodwork, calling the progressives and the people who define themselves as on the left of the spectrum, who have been protesting what Barack Obama has been doing for 8 years. We've been doing it, being called dangerous by the Democratic establishment people, but like Bill Maher being called dangerous because Islam is they're gonna come and they're gonna blow up like just like a fireworks show of terrorism if we don't take care of Islam, which means genocide. Basically, Bill Maher and Sam Harris and Christopher Hitchens are genocidists. Basically, we have very famously this new atheism movement. Sorry, playing a video game. Someone blew me up. uh, this new atheism movement by the likes of the late Christopher Hitchens. Let's make no mistake, Christopher Hitchens is a racist, an Islamophobe, and a complete charlatan, and a complete hypocrite. Christopher Hitchens would call himself a socialist, or like, oh, I very much like Marxism, oh, and pretend to be, he would say he was a socialist or Marxist, or he believed in these economic liberation and things like this. He was no socialist. He believed in imperialism. Christopher Hitchens was nothing but a pro British establishment imperialist. He supported Iraq. He supported U.S. and U.K. and Blair era and Bush era political foreign policy fascism of illegal wars. He did all of these things, and he just towed the line of the imperialist colonialist state. And he was a complete fraud. And then he started this new atheism movement, him and Dawkins and a bunch of these people, and they're really just the Democratic left's Islamophobic movement. It's really just the mouthpiece of Islamophobia for the left. How do you think the Bush era happened, and there were a lot of people on the left who agreed what Bush was doing? How do you think the media got that to happen through MSNBC and CNN being what were they doing? These Christopher Hitchens, Sam Harris, Bill Maher, MSNBC people, they were being Islamophobes. They were saying that Islam is disproportionately dangerous, and that they were saying all these lies about Islam, and then saying like, oh, but we love Muslims. Oh, but we love the Muslims. But we need to stop them from themselves. Their craziness, and just the uncivilized, unscientific bullshit that they would bring up against Islam. And these are the people that call themselves scientific. Are you kidding? Lying about sociological trends in the Middle East and with Islam, lying about the actual rates of terrorism in the world, lying about the actual causes of terrorism in the world, and you Democratic fucking racist toadies are gonna say that the people of Islam and the people of these countries are somehow morally deficient or genetically deficient. I don't know anything more unscientific than Christopher Hitchens. Christopher Hitchens is no socialist and he's no Marxist because he was never a scientist. He never believed in the facts. Yes, Marxism and science are pretty much the same thing. That's what dialectics are. A scientific process of figuring out history and figuring out economic history, figuring out sociology. Marxism is science, and when people like Bill Maher and Sam Harris call Islam violent, disproportionately violent, and they say it's facts, they stop being progressives, they stop being socialists, they stop being Marxist and progressives, because they stop being scientific. And that's what it means to be a progressive, to be scientific. That science should dictate our political choices and our economic choices, not sensationalized media and these things. But Bill Maher and Sam Harris, Bill Maher and Sam Harris got together the other night on his terrible, terrible program on HBO. And this was after, this was before Bill Maher had Tommy Lahren. Oh, the person who, good God, the sensationalized media is raising the people like Tommy Lahren and Milo up, these charlatan morons, and they know, Bill Maher knows he's making these people more popular and more powerful. Good God, Bill Maher, I'll do another video on the raising of these people by Bill Maher. The Milos and the Ann Coulters and Tommy Lahrens. Are you kidding me? The media has no business giving these people a platform. Bill Maher gives her an hour. You fucking kid. So he can make some pithy neoliberal bullshit remarks about nothing. Bill Maher can't stand for anything he claims to stand for because he's an economic fascist. but I'll make a video about raising people like Milo up. I refrained from using his name in the UC Berkeley protest video, but I'll do another video on that. But Sam Harris, he's on the program talking about all the problems that we have in our world right now. We have economic fascism. We have the United States in a kill state, surveillance state. We have the environment about to explode. We have the World War III about to start. Oh, but no, a big issue for Sam Harris and Bill Maher is the hijab. Women choosing to wear a hijab. These misogynists, Bill Maher and Sam Harris. A woman wanting to express her religious freedom, not being able to wear a hijab, and then leading to a conversation about how dangerous the refugees are and how the refugee crisis is and how Sam Harris is actually a Donald Trump supporter and Bill Maher is actually a Donald Trump supporter because they're Barack Obama supporters and it's the same fucking thing. Sam and Bill Maher has given a platform to this too. So in one episode of the Bill Maher show, you get the raising up of neo-Nazi, economic fascists, racists, like Ann Coulter, Tommy Lahren, and he wants to get Milo on the show. He raises these people up, and they only talk about Donald Trump, and at the end of the Bill Maher program, Donald Trump has more power, and Ann Coulter and Tommy Lahren and Milo have more power at the end of the episode. Remember, it's not the UC protests and the violence that occurred at UC Berkeley protests. It's that rose up Milo. It's the sensationalized media that raises up Milo. Instead of reporting on the United States bombing 8 countries and killing an 8-year-old girl and killing children. It's the sensationalized media and the establishment that raises people like Tommy Lahren and Ann Coulter and Milo. They raise them up. Not protesting. The media is actually saying that protesting, and people on social media are saying, oh, protest did this. You fucking kidding me? You're trying to deter people from protesting? The fuck are you talking about? It's the sensationalized corporate fascist media that can do nothing and doesn't practice journalism that's raising these people up. Where do you think you're getting the information from, you stupid asshole? Trying to stop protesting. Good God, how ridiculous. How dangerous. Some of these people, some people with even inside the Marxist movements are like, yeah, they're wanting to raise these people up. These are anti-Hillary Clinton, anti-Barack Obama people trying to raise up Milo through shitting on protesting. Are you fucking kidding me? If you say you're anti-protesting, you're not a Marxist, or you're not a progressive, and you're not a socialist. So don't fucking say that you are. But we go back to the Democratic establishment. We have Bill Maher, who's just been the hijack, and the Barack Obamas. They've hijacked the progressive movement for not just 8 years, but for so long. This Comedy Central bullshit. Comedy Central is a cesspool. But these bullshit corporate media outlets for 30 years have claimed to be on like the progressive side of it, but they've been just as big economic fascists as the other side of it. It's ridiculous. It's appalling for the things that Bill Maher and Sam Harris say to millions of people on national, worldwide, global television, all over social media, the lies that they're allowed to spread about Islam, the lies. They're actually allowed to have a platform legally to spread lies. And if you wonder, why there aren't laws prohibiting lying on media outlets, like you have to have fact-checked information and verified information, replicated information to be able to say bullshit. But because the progressive movement has been hijacked by the likes of Bill Maher and Sam Harris and Barack Obama, of course we've never fought for those things, because the only thing that we get to hear, which is the corporate fascist media's fake progressive mouthpiece, is just the only quote unquote progressive voice you're ever allowed to hear on the media. Bernie Sanders got a complete media blackout. The only thing you're ever allowed to hear is what Barack Obama has to say, which is nothing, which is republicanism, which is, well, not republicanism, but what establishment Republicans say, just with the smiley face saying, like, oh, but we love Muslims too. No, you don't. If you bomb and kill and ban them, no, that's not love. That's something else. Craziness. But we need to stop this fake progressive media, and we need to build our own media. The Bill Mahers can no longer, and I'm seeing a lot of great people stepping forward. I see a lot of articles, and I'm seeing a lot of social media about people saying what Bill Maher really is, and he's a total Islamophobe, and Sam Harris is a total Islamophobe, and they've been nothing but the Democratic mouthpieces for Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton for the past, how many decades? And finally, people are starting to wake up, like, oh, Bill Maher, a millionaire who's made millions of dollars off of raising up the racist Islamophobic Democrats. Oh, he's maybe not the best kind of guy. Oh, finally, people are waking up and calling Bill Maher and Sam Harris and Barack Obama, they're calling them what they are, which is Islamophobes. And they are the more dangerous Islamophobe than the Republicans, because they're the ones who say they are, and they're the ones who convince millions of people who've supported Barack Obama and supported Hillary Clinton. They're the ones who brainwash these people with lies that Islam is dangerous. And it's not. Economic fascists like Bill Maher and Sam Harris and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, they are dangerous. They are the dangerous ones. It's not Islam. And again, I mean, I love the people of Islam, but I'll debate the theology of Islam all day long. You want to put me on a stage with someone, and we could debate the logic and where these stories came from and what this is. The same thing with Christianity. I'll debate you all day long, because I think theology, though, people should be allowed to believe what we want, we need an education system that's going to stand up for education and not fairy tales being brainwashed to children. But theology as a whole is something I can make another video on. I don't know. I have some crazy views about family and what is allowed to be taught to children. That's another long kind of video. But I don't know. Whenever I talk about something like Islamophobia, I always feel like I might come across as, like, I don't know, insensitive about it. When the way I talk about Islam, and I just want it to be said. The same thing I think about Christianity. I don't want to insult people who are Christians, but I also do have very strong opinions on the idea of Christianity too. But so understand it comes from a theological, I guess, kind of place. Again, me being a Marxist. But again, the real danger here is the corporate fascist media. The Bill Mahers are the real terrorists, and these are the people who need to stopping. These are the people who need to be brought to heel. These are the super predators: Sam Harris, Hillary Clinton, Bill Maher, the ones who spread lies about Islam, the ones who spread lies for genocide, basically, so they can profit. And Bill Maher has profited, let's make no mistake. Sam Harris and Bill Maher, in this era of constant Muslim murdering, these people have become super millionaires. These people have profited out the yang with these lies and this nonsense. These are these are the people. If you ever meet someone who's made millions of dollars off of saying that is people of Islam are dogs and are evil and are coming to get you and are gonna get you, wouldn't something in your brain just kind of trigger like, wait a minute, what am I being told here? What is this person saying, trying to convince me of? But unfortunately, a lot of Barack Obama supporters and a lot of Donald Trump supporters, they don't see things like this because of how important the media and powerful the mass media is. People will believe anything. Yeah, I mean, it's and that's why the media is so important. Then that's why we, as an independent people's movement, need our own media. We need our own mass media that we can use to counter the economic fascists. We need and how do we do that? I don't know how to do that. I know we have social media for now, but we need to create just a huge movement that can be in. Obviously, if it's a people's movement, we're gonna have disagreements, but we need some sort of manifesto that we can all point to and agree on for political action, and we need a summit for that. So one of my next videos will be on like what is the actual step to create a people's movement, which would be getting together and forming a list of a manifesto of our common ground. But that'll be another video. But as for these Islamophobes like Bill Maher, who think the hijab is the issue and not the predator drone killing 8-year-olds, I don't know what could be wrong with these people. Like, I know what's wrong with Bill Maher. He's a millionaire and he loves his money. But there are people who are so scared by these lies about Islam who they get nothing out of it besides they're just tending their fear. And that's all Bill Maher do, and Sam Harris do, and Barack Obama do. They're fear mongers. They pretend to care, but all they're doing is just growing sensationalism by lying about Islam and lying about terrorism. And so this makes Bill Maher just as bad as like the perpetrators of the 9/11 attacks, like Dick Cheney, Rumsfeld, the people who came up with the plot to like, let's blow up these buildings using our technology and then lie about it through mass media. Like, Bill Maher is as evil as these people are, because he tends their kill state. But we need to discredit the Bill Mahers. We need to get them out of the media. We need to come together as a people's movement to form our own independent people's media to get true information out and to help us organize. But we also need to take down the corporate fascist media because they hate Islam and they will kill whoever the reason why it's Islam is they can make money off it. But you don't think the day they can make money off of bombing you and your house, even if you live in the United States, you don't think they'll be at it, and they'll be calling, whoever you are and whatever your beliefs are, they'll be calling you a dog for it? If I can't reach you on a moral level or a level of facts that say that Islam, these are lies about Islam and the people of Islam are good, just like all of most people, if I can't reach you on a level of morality or facts, just understand this could be coming to a theater near you. This could be coming to your hometown anytime. When it's profitable for the war machine to kill you, they're coming to your door. And don't think they're not trying to figure out how. So we need to wake up, we need to wise up, and we need to take these people out. By any means possible. This is a revolution, so please, please revolt, as Jeb Bush would say. No, but we need a real revolution, and we need to form it now. So, thank you for listening to this video. My name is Sandy Frank. This is my podcast. Please leave a like, a share, a comment, a subscribe, just whatever you can do to help me out, and let me know what you'd like me to do, what you would like me to do next. So, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.